Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated Journato evening headlines on October 4, 2022. Monster 2,554 pounds pumpkin breaks US record. The Guardian, Super Squash, 2,554 pound pumpkin carves out new US record. Grim winter looms as wartime Ukraine braces for infrastructure attacks. Russia-Ukraine news live. Moscow praises Musk tweets as Zelensky says no Putin talks. Pakistan floods. It's like fighting a war with no end. Worth first place. Cheating scandal rocks competitive fishing world after weights found in Ohio catches. Sky News. Angler's prize-winning catch had something fishy inside it. The Telegraph. Ohio. World of angling rocked by cheating scandal after fish stuffed with weights. Metro.co.uk, anglers cheating at Lake Erie fishing contest was off the scale. The Times, slippery tail, anglers accused of using weights and fish fillets to win top contest. How the world's whitest paint can tackle climate crisis. The Independent, world's whitest paint now thin enough to use on cars and airplanes for keeping them cool, study says. Paris Metro paper ticket reaches end of the line after more than 120 years. The Guardian, Paris Metro bids adieu to paper tickets after 122 years. Evening Standard, a tradition ends. Paris says goodbye to iconic paper metro tickets. France 24 English, last stop, Paris waves goodbye to cardboard metro tickets. Iran arrests musician as anthem for protests goes viral. The Guardian, Iran's unveiled youth fight for freedom, and the regime has never faced a bigger threat. The Times, Iran protest song that's become the soundtrack to civil uprising. Guardian News, my teenage years were stolen, Iranians on their hopes for change. Trump-backed Republican Senate nominee Herschel Walker denies he paid for ex-girlfriend's abortion. Sky News, pro-life Senate nominee Herschel Walker paid for girlfriend's abortion. The Times, Herschel Walker denies paying for ex-girlfriend's abortion after report turns own son against him. Emmanuel Macron's top advisor charged with conflict of interest. The Guardian, Macron's chief of staff charged over alleged conflict of interest. Politico Europe, President Macron's right-hand man Alexis Kohler faces trial. The Times, Macron's chief of staff indicted over link to shipping giant MSC. Nuclear strike could become more appealing for Putin as options shrink. Sky News, military briefing, which nuclear weapons could Putin use against Ukraine? Financial Times, in Putin's nuclear brinksmanship, weapons leave room for warning. Bloomberg, what's Putin thinking? Tough to know for nuclear analysts. The Independent, US considering responses if Putin uses nuclear weapons. Lehrmann, trial for man accused of Australian Parliament rape begins. BBC, trial begins over alleged rape in Australia's Parliament. Sky News, trial begins of man accused of raping government worker in Australia's Parliament. The Independent, Australian court to hear claims over alleged sexual assault in Parliament House. Hurricane Ian, Florida death toll rises as criticism mounts. BBC, Hurricane Ian, more than 80 dead and hundreds of thousands without power in US. BBC News. BBC News, Florida death toll rises to 100 as many still left without power after Hurricane Ian. The Independent, dangers persist in wake of Hurricane Ian. Iran protests, Supreme Leader blames unrest on US and Israel. BBC, Iran's president tries to assuage anger as protests continue. The Independent, UK summons Iranian chargé d'affaires following worsening crackdowns on protests. Gov. UK, why are protests happening in Iran? BBC News. BBC News, Iran's supreme leader breaks silence on protests he claims are US-organized plots. Zelensky and Musk in row over Ukraine peace plan poll. BBC, Zelensky hits back as Elon Musk sets up Twitter poll on annexed areas of Ukraine. The Guardian, Zelensky versus Musk on Twitter. Politico Europe, Elon Musk could help Ukraine, but not like this. The Independent, Musk's plan to end Russian war infuriates Ukraine on Twitter. Kremlin dismisses UK media report on Russian nuclear test. Reuters, nuclear weapons convoy sparks fears Putin could be preparing test to send signal to the West. The Telegraph, Putin orders nuclear military train to Ukraine. News. The Times, Russian TV airs footage of nuclear explosions in anticipation of nuclear conflict. 3 scientists share Physics Nobel Prize for quantum mechanics work. The Guardian, Physics Nobel rewards spooky science of entanglement. BBC, Live News, trio of physicists win Nobel Prize for quantum technology work. Financial Times, Nobel panel to announce winner of Physics Prize. The Independent, Live, announcement of 2022 Nobel Physics Prize. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.